everyone, and welcome back to the V Spot. Here we are for season 3. Can you believe it? Season 3. If this is your first time here, I want to say thank you and welcome for being with me in the V Spot, right? Also known as the Vulnerability Spot. And if this is your 3rd season back with me, I want to say thank you, welcome back. It has certainly been a minute, right? I took some time to be inspired, do some intentional healing and wellness, get a lot of work done, think about where I wanted to go next with the V Spot, and I'm excited to be here to talk to you about all the things, right? What can you expect from this particular season of the podcast? Where are we going, and how I'm encouraging you to take what you receive here and map it on in your own life, right? So that's what we're going to look at today. I'm super excited. I've been really looking forward to being with you in this particular way. And we just celebrated the 1-year anniversary of the V Spot, right? So the V Spot turns 1. So let's give it up for embracing the superpower that is vulnerability for 1 year. Right. So a little bit about that, my decision to launch the V Spot was a way of calling myself forward in a very uncomfortable new way. Vulnerability is absolutely something that I avoided for a long time, right? I wasn't comfortable with it, hence the comfort zone. And the V Spot was a purposeful decision to move forward in a powerful and uncomfortable, way of moving through the world. And I was introduced to vulnerability approximately 6 years ago in the context of, risk and uncertainty. And when I started to embrace it little by little, and when I say little by little, I mean it was a process. When I started to embrace it little by little, what I found is that my whole entire life began to change. And so I wanted to create a platform where I can encourage you to embrace vulnerability little by little so that your whole life can change as well. Right now, what I want to do is, since we're here at the first episode of season 3, I want to do somewhat of a refresher so that for anyone who's joining me for the first time, you know what to expect in this particular space, right? So I always say that in the V Spot, we don't talk about vulnerability, we demonstrate it, right? And so I want to elaborate a little bit about what that means, but also share for you all who may be tuning in for the first time, what vulnerability is in the sense that we hold it here in the V Spot, right? So I think before I jump into what vulnerability is, let me share what vulnerability is not. That often helps to clarify the messaging. So vulnerability is not a weakness. It's not a weakness. Now, I always say that I do know, depending upon where you were raised and who you were raised by, this goes against everything that you were taught, right? Depending on where you live, depending on your upbringing, depending on your circumstances, depending on so many different variables, vulnerability, I recognize, could have been the thing to get you hurt when you were younger, right? So there is this misconception that vulnerability is a weakness. So there's a level of unlearning that's going to go into embracing vulnerability as a superpower, right? Because it's the willingness to set down what you potentially hold about vulnerability, to be with it in a new way, right? So vulnerability is not a weakness, and it's not about telling people everything about you, right? It's not about saying all the things. It's really about taking the risk to be yourself, right? To not know the outcome and be willing to show up anyway, right? To embrace courage and uncertainty in new ways, right? The willingness to share your emotions, share your truth, detaching from the outcome, right? Because we don't know how people are going to perceive us when we show up as our authentic selves and speak our truth. And vulnerability is the willingness to do all of that despite knowing how it's going to be perceived, how others will feel about us, right? And how it will all turn out in the end, right? So there's a level of intentional risk that's involved in embracing vulnerability. But I wanted to review that it's not a weakness, and it's not about, divulging every single bit of information about yourself, right? It's a consistent, conscious decision to share of yourself in a way, sometimes no words needed, right? To share of yourself in a way in this world where, despite how it's received by others, despite how it all turns out, you're willing to do the thing anyway, right? And so that's the context that we hold here in the V-Spot: risk, uncertainty, emotional exposure. It's the way in which Brene Brown, clinical social worker, defines vulnerability. And that's the context here, right? So we will often get together and have conversations where I don't know how it's going to be perceived, right? That's not my concern, though. My concern is to have the conversations anyway, right? I don't know how others will, whether it's going to, be, are you going to like it? Are you not going to like it? Are you going to feel good about it? Are you not going to feel good about it? I don't know any of that, right? But the V-Spot is a place where I will have conversations with you all and invite some other people who I admire, respect, believe to be incredibly powerful, have, insight, can teach us a few things, have gone through some things, right? And we will have the conversations, whatever the topics are, in the name of having the conversations, in the name of sharing our true selves, in the name of being willing to put out what it is that, we've gone through. Some of the things that people don't dare to say out loud, we'll be sharing, all in the name of intentional healing, individual healing, collective healing, and forward movement, right? So the whole premise of intentional healing and wellness, my business, is heal on the inside so that you can get whatever it is that you want on the outside, right? So it's like it's an inside job. Our beliefs, our feelings, our narratives, oftentimes from our past experiences, they have us thinking some things. And so intentional healing and wellness is about being intentional to look on the inside, right? To heal some of these beliefs so that we can have what we desire on the outside in terms of the external world, whether that be by way of, goods and finances and all the things, materialistic stuff, or whether it be the way in which we move through the world, whether it be the decisions that we make, the opportunities we step into, the life experiences that we then are able to enjoy, because of the changing of some beliefs. So I wanted to review all of that to, give you a sense of what it is that happens here. During very challenging times, approximately a year ago, I decided to launch the V-Spot because I wanted to create a safe space where I can have purposeful conversation, speak my truth, and invite you all to do the same. And so the V-Spot is about intentionality. It's about coming together to spend quality time, to inspire, to laugh together, to cry together, to do introspective reflection together, to map on where do we want to go next, right? And so I'm so excited to be here. I'm excited that we're like at the 1 year, basically right around the 1 year mark. I'm excited about where it is that we are going to go together this season. I will say, in the name of uncertainty, in the name of risk, we're going to go to a lot of different places, right? A lot of different topics. And I want to say thank you in this moment for everybody on social media. When I was wrapping up season 2, I posed a question: what topics did you want explored, you know, for season 3. I wanted to take the listeners' feedback into consideration and provide, you know, some episodes that really tap into the things that you are interested in navigating. And so I want to say thank you, because an abundance of topics came in as suggestions, and we will absolutely explore those and more in season 3. So a lot of where we will go is based on where the listeners wanted to go for this particular season. And so I'm excited to go there. I'm excited to go to uncharted territory, whether it be by way of, you know, my own sharing, or where the guests that I invite to join me. But there'll be unknown variables, right? And that's the name of the vulnerability game, not knowing, right? Not knowing and embracing the unexpected, and trusting that showing up and having the conversations and spending time together in the name of intentionality, in the name of healing, in the name of personal development, in the name of future success, that wherever we go, it will be exactly what's wanted and needed for, you know, both the individual and the collective. And so I'm super excited to just embrace the fact that for season 3, the cameras are sticking around, right? Season 2 is where they were first introduced. Cameras are sticking around for season 3. We will lock arms and go to a whole bunch of different places together, and enjoy the journey, right? Enjoy the journey. It is my hope that each episode provides a level of insight, a level of inspiration, a level of aha that you can take from here and map on in your own life, right? Hear from me, hear from some other great people about what has life and the journey revealed to them, what obstacles did we all go through that paved the way for insight and paved the way for breakthrough. And if we can potentially support you, you know, as you listen to this podcast, in taking what you receive here and cracking something open so that your tomorrow and the rest of your today looks different, feels different, and allows you to access new territory, then we won. Right. And that's the name of the vulnerability game here in the V Spot. So I want to say thank you, you know, up front for choosing to spend time with me in this particular way. I know that there are millions of podcasts, and the fact that you all choose to spend time with me here, I don't take lightly. I'm incredibly grateful, right? There are listeners tuning in from over 22 states and over 13 countries. And that's what I'm able to gain insight around. The fact that the V Spot plays on Power 78.7 radio, and that is in so many other places, and accurate on where you all are in this particular moment. But I want to say that I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. Right. I really appreciate your time. I appreciate the messages that you share about how a particular episode paved the way for some sort of insight in your life. And I'm looking forward to really supporting you in using the V Spot as a treasure map, if you will, right? Allow it to be the inspiration to forward you in whatever area of your life you are looking to propel forward in, right? So whether it's relationships, whether it's finances, whether it's wellness, whatever the thing is for you, allow vulnerability to support you in getting there, right? And so here's to an incredible season 3. May it inspire us. May it heal. May it forward us in ways that we don't even have access to in this particular moment. Let's have fun together. Let's get deep, right, together. Let's really roll up our sleeves and do a level of work that will have our future occur much differently. So until we meet again for the next episode of the V Spot, I want to say welcome back or welcome. Wherever you are looking to go, I believe vulnerability will support you in getting there. And if you want to take any of the work that is done in this particular capacity and map it on in your life, right, in your organization, contact me so that we can figure out a way to, creatively collaborate and work together, because tomorrow is not promised, you all, and today is where it's at. So don't wait on your transformation. Don't wait to live the life that you dream of living, right? Start right now. Start in this moment without having a plan, without knowing how, but start. And if you want somebody to journey alongside you, you know where to find me. So until we meet again for the next episode of the V Spot, thank you for being with me in this particular episode. I can't wait to spend more quality time with you. As I said in the very, very beginning of this, the season, episode 1, season 1, we're about to go on a journey. So buckle up or don't, but let's journey through this thing called life together. It's absolutely better when we are together. I'll see you next time. To be continued.